What's going on, guys? Gomes here, back again on another MLB The Show 20 Diamond Dynasty video. If you look at the calendar, it's the 1st September, the last month of the 2020 MLB season. And it feels like just 40 days ago it started. Well, maybe because it did. So we might only have like 4 more roster updates, so this is one of them. This is my roster update predictions for September 3rd. Couple diamond picks, lot of room for investment. You guys are gonna have to open up those ear cavities because a lot of stub potential. But of course, before we talk about said stub potential, make sure and let's see your potential of leaving likes down below on this video. I would appreciate it. So why not do it? You can also subscribe. It is very nearly in the same section. Slap that red button, make it turn, I think it's gray, at least on desktop. So getting into this one, as always, we're gonna go over 10 players that are going, particularly either gold or diamond, that you guys can buy, put in buy orders, make investments, and in turn make a ton of stubs. So let's get into it. The first one we're gonna talk about is Xander Bogarts. Now this is an interesting one. The Red Sox are absolute utter dog shit. The red in their socks is sure turning red because they're being beaten to a pulp from head to toe. Absolute decimation whenever they get into a game. Really stinky stuff, but Xander's been a bright spot. This year against righties, hitting .263, .475 slug, .816 OPS, 4 homers, 9 extra base hits. And against lefties, he's hitting .375, .725, 1,130 OPS with 4 homers and 6 extra base hits. So based off those numbers, you would say, how is he going to get the jump up to diamond? Which I do think he should, because he's only hitting .263 against righties. That's not particularly great. That is quite in line with the MLB average. Jimmy, I should tell you this. In the last 16 games against righties, he's hitting .292 with a .542 slug. 3 homers, 6 extra base hits, a .250 ISO. Really good shit as far as that's concerned. I think that recent number is gonna be enough to get the boost against right-handers. Maybe even a little bit more against lefties. I know he already has 95 and 92 splits, but he has been absolutely fantastic. You know, it's just truly difficult for him to get a good path at diamond, considering he has 54 fucking fielding. I swear to God, Estevez basically is saying with that rating that you could stick his glove at the shortstop position and it would do just as good, if not better of a job defensively than actually having Xander's hand in it. So I don't know, I do think he's gonna get a +2 up to diamond. 3.2k, it's not a log, but there is a lot of room for investment there. Moving on to my Tampa Bay Rays, the first place Tampa Bay Rays, the #1 seed Tampa Bay Rays, and we're looking at Tyler is gonna go gold down, or on Thursday. The update's not until you get the point. Tyler Glasnow has been really good, picking up right where he left off at the start of last year. Not the greatest postseason for him. We don't prefer to talk about that, but he has a 4.24 ERA. That has no correlation to anything in Diamond Dynasty. Why do I always bring it up? Then it's another attribute to make them look at things and just showcase how good he's been. But ERA is not an actual statistic anywhere there, so it doesn't really make that much of a difference. If you look at everything else, a 1.21 whip, 203 opponent batting average, 57 strikeouts compared to 15 walks in 34 innings pitched. He is carving up hitters like you would have Hein Roast Beast on Whoville Christmas morning. He's been really goddamn good in the last 3 starts, 18 2/3 innings pitched, only 4 earned runs given up, so the ERA, he got a little bit more bounce towards the start of the year. 9 hits in 18.2 innings, 5 walks, 30 strikeouts. I think he is going to go gold, get a +2. I think the stamina, again, they're weird with that. Fielding and stamina, they hardly ever move up. I think it deserves a little bit of love. The hit 9 should be more than enough to get him there. I think his K9 might even get up into the 90s. The BB9, 15 walks and 34 innings. That's probably not going to get moved too much, but 750 currently for Glasnow. I have 94 of him, so you could say I'm quite comfortable with my investment. Moving on to the Blue Jays, we're looking at Teoscar Hernandez, who's I'm not gonna say quietly, because they have a whole nation technically the whole state of Buffalo too, representing them. Teoscar Hernandez this year's been great against righties, hitting 311, 589 slug, 946 OPS, 7 homers, and that would be 11 total extra base hits. Against lefties, 278, 750 slug, 1083 OPS, 5 homers against them. He does strike out a lot, not a big deal, 39 strikeouts. Since the last update, he's 6 for 17 with an extra base hit. That's pretty good. But if you look a bit deeper into the month of August, I think this is since August 21st, 15 for 43, 5 homers, 721 slug with a 372 ISO, which is a very, very good. Again, Teoscar, he got moved up to a 79. I think there's enough there. I think a little bit more power, or even hitting 278 against left-handers. I think there's enough there to boost him up and get him to a goal. He's going for 811. Not tons of room right now, a bit cramped, but you can still get in and make a little bit of profit. This one, you're not making any profit, but I have to mention it. This is my first lock of the week. Luis Robert, and doesn't really matter. He swings a hell of a bat, and before too long, you're going to know him by his initials of ROY. Luis Robert has been killing it, especially lately. This year, hitting 300 against righties, 633 slug, 980 OPS, 8 homers, 14 total extra base hits. Against lefties, 290, 548 in a 901 slash line, 2 homers, 4 total extra base. He strikes out a lot. A shit ton, one might say. 41 times opposed to only 10 walks. But again, if you look at since the last update, 7 for 16 hitting with 3 homers and 4 total extra base hits. Pretty clearly, he is going to get the jump. Now, if this was a normal season, would they be so inclined to move him? I absolutely think so. You know, it has only been 100-some at-bats, but he has been really good in said 100-some at-bats. So give him a little plus on his power versus lefties. That's more than enough, and I think he's going to get other offensive upgrades. Literally can't even invest unless you want to lose Stubs. Minus Obi shaking him like dying and throwing him down the toilet, because you're not really going to make anything there, but he is going to go golden, so we did have to mention that. Quickly, brief intermission. The Twins, Kenta Maeda, do not think this is his week. He had 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned, and 8 strikeouts. I believe that's all off the dome, too. And don't ever say Gomes does not have a good memory. I don't think he's going to get it this week. Let him have one more good start. That's my opinion. Moving on to the Oakland A's, Liam Hendricks. We're talking about this guy again. Okay, so the problem with him is Estevez. That's the problem. He's clearly a diamond caliber pitcher. He's probably a top 3 for sure reliever in baseball. He did get a +1 to an 84 last week, and he's only pitched 1 game since then. He has a 1.1 ERA, 0.67 WHIP, 143 opponent batting average, 23 strikeouts to 3 walks, and 16 1/3 innings pitched. This, again, I keep having to pull different little stretches for you. Since his last earned run, which was on the 8th of August, nearly a month ago, he's had 8 innings, 1 hit allowed, 1 walk allowed, and 11 strikeouts. He has to go diamond. I don't know if they're going to give it to him. I do think there are better investments for you guys to make, but he does deserve it. We're just going to have to see if they decide to, actually give him what he is due. So, moving on to the Chicago Cubs, we have 2 for them. The first one we're talking about, Jason Hayward, proving once again he's worth every cent of that $182-something million contract. Now, maybe they might even give him a bonus, because we all know they turn into Mr. Krabs during the offseason. Don't want to spend a single penny on free agents. Jason Hayward, been more of a platoon guy, kind of like Mitch Moreland, 328 batting average, 689 slug, 1,134 OPS with 5 homers and 10 extra base hits. Against lefties, hitting 174 in 23 at-bats. That doesn't matter. It's not going to get moved because he's more of a platoon role. He is 5 for 12 with 3 home runs since the last update. And against righties, he's hitting 370 with an 848 slug, 1,348 OPS against righties since the 1st of August. I really think there's no way he doesn't get moved up to gold. I'm going to call this one a lock. Plenty of time to invest, only at 657. Ian Happ, his teammate, again, kind of picking up the slack for guys like Chris Bryant, Wilson Contreras, who've been non-existent. Ian Happ has quietly been one of the best players in baseball. 291 batting average, 696, and a 1.113 3 slash line against righties with 8 home runs and 15 extra base hits. Against lefties, hitting 300, 344 slug, 850 OPS with a homer and 2 extra base hits. Not great, but we're really looking at righties. 22 walks as well, so I think the discipline probably isn't going to move. That's 95. 3 homers, 4 extra base hits, 5 for 15 since the last update. Happ is going to be one of my flex picks right here. I don't think he's going to get gold. He could. It's possible. I'm going to say 79 to be on the conservative end. But if he does go gold, there's, a lot of room for you guys to make profit, and there's no real signs of him slowing down anytime soon. The Cincinnati Reds, good lord, take a shot of bug juice if you saw this one coming. Jesse Winker is still one of the best players statistically in baseball. Against righties, hitting 333, 692 OPS, 1,133 OPS, 8 homers and 12 extra base hits. Against lefties, only 23 at-bats, albeit, but 304, 652, 1060 OPS. And in the last stretch, 10 for 24 with 4 homers and 6 extra base hits. He should be gold. It's another flex pick. I'm going to be conservative and say 79 to +3 for Jesse Winker. The defense, I think, is a bit underrated, but as far as offensively goes, that lefty numbers isn't too much to go off of, but it should at least warrant a bit of a boost. I think he's going to get 79, but I definitely think he should be 80. He's been doing this the entire season, for Christ's sakes. And then finally, the last team, we got 2 members here, the St. Louis Cardinals. Since returning to baseball, playing a nice 500 game. Demolishing balls with the 26th best slugging percentage in the league, but Paul Goldschmidt is, he is actually crushing the ball. Just make sure to pee around them bitches. He's doing really well. I think this is a diamond lock for me. 360 against righties, 560 slug, 1044 OPS with 3 homers, 9 extra base hits. Not really hitting a ton over the wall, but he is getting those extra base. Lefties hitting 250 with a 750 OPS and 8 at-bats. That's not really going to get moved, I don't believe. Even though that is his strong suit, he's really showed out against righties. The Cardinals just aren't facing lefties, I guess, this year, which you'll see in the next one. But I think there's more than enough here to give him a +1 up to an 85. The power at that 560 slug, I think, could be boosted alongside the 360 batting average on the season against right-handers. Smaller sample size, haven't played as many games as other teams, of course, due to the sickness, but Goldschmidt, I do think, is going to be a lock. And I'm locked and loaded. I have 130. Paul Goldschmidt's ready to go, ready to ship. And then Paul DeJong's going to be my other candidate we're talking about here. And I'll be honest, I think this is kind of a lock as well. DeJong, much like Goldschmidt, has faced 2 lefties on the entire season. Basically everything is against righties, where he's hitting 333, 529 slug, 904 OPS with 2 homers and 6 extra base hits. And he's 8 for 21 with the homer and 3 extra base since the last update. And in the month of August, again, not too many games here, but 361, 528, and a 912 slash line. So the contact, that's more than enough. He's not really hitting a ton of home runs, only 2, and only 6 extra base hits on the season so far, but the defense really boosts him up. All he needs is contact to get that +1 up to an 80. Only at 686. This is a lock alongside Goldschmidt for me. Ton of stubs to be made on the Cardinals this week, and I think that's about gonna do it. That's gonna wrap this one up. That's my September 3rd roster update predictions. Went a little bit long, my apologies for that one, but let me know in the comment section, who do you guys have going up to diamond, who do you guys have going up to gold, and did Gomes actually miss one for this time around? I'm not sure. We're gonna have to wait and see, but if you guys did enjoy this one, make sure to leave a like down below. Thank you for watching. Hope you guys have a great day. Thanks, and Saudi.